name's Fran Sheldon and I'm actually an academic staff member in the School of Environment at Griffith University, and I do my research in the Australian Rivers Institute. So as an academic staff member, you're involved in teaching across a range of different areas, and so undergraduate teaching, some coursework master's teaching. We also have postgraduate students, PhD and master's students, and honours students, as well as supervising students. I actually also have research projects. And currently we're working on a big ARC, which is the Australian Research Council project, looking at restoration in the Upper Brisbane catchment and pathways to put vegetation back in disturbed river systems. Research can be really rewarding and heaps of fun, and one of the great things about doing research in RE is that you're not actually on your own. So when you're working in the institute, there's a whole range of different people with different skill sets, and so some of the big projects that we've had, we've been able to draw in skills from a range of different people and you get a better outcome to the project. In terms of research projects, one of the best outcomes, or I guess the most exciting outcome we've had, is we've worked with a group called the Healthy Waterways Partnership, and they've done monitoring in southeast Queensland for about 14 to 16 years, and we took that long-term data set for about 140 sites around southeast Queensland and analysed that data set to look at the role vegetation plays in stream health across southeast Queensland, and we were able to pick up the scale of vegetation that you need to have really good stream health. And so that was a significant bit of work using a fairly big publicly funded data set. And we could then make recommendations back to councils about where they should restore things in catchments to try and increase stream health. So that was a good outcome. So one of the kinds of organisms that we use a lot to talk about stream health are macroinvertebrates, and they're just easily collected with a net from the stream, and then by looking at the diversity of the different kinds that we can see in here, it can really tell us a lot about what's going on in the stream, even if we haven't been here for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So our next challenge with some of the work we've been doing about the role of vegetation in catchments and how it can influence stream health is to look at the kind of vegetation you need to put back into really degraded catchments. So sometimes when rivers are degraded and we've chopped down all the trees on the banks and in the catchment, the flow changes, and so the whole river changes quite a lot and becomes a lot more unstable. And so then the big challenge is, well, what trees can you put back to help stabilise that channel again? And you want to stabilise channels because you want to keep all the sediment associated with rivers in the catchment with the river, not out to sea where it's no use to anyone. So soil is like this fossil resource, and so we want to try and put the vegetation back to keep it in the catchment, but the question is what goes back.